Welcome back to another episode of Light Beer, Dark Money. I'm Sean Noble.
I'm Chris Clements.
We're coming to you Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I am thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you.
And I'm thankful for our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Endure our rapid response.
We are truly grateful and thankful for our listeners who like and subscribe. They help the show. We continue to pitch, like, and subscribe. We're thankful to Americans for Prosperity Arizona.
Yes.
One of our sponsors.
Mr. Stephen Shattuck, Esquire.
We have just so much to be thankful for. Our families obviously are just, huge parts of our lives. Give us lots of gratitude.
And they give us an enormous amount of hard time for doing this show as much as we do it.
Do you have to do 2 a week?
Do you get that question
I
too?
get that question as well.
Do you really need to do 2?
We have to, and this, folks, this is the sacrifice that we make for you.
Absolutely. Well, and we enjoy doing this because
it's not,
we're crazy.
It doesn't feel like a sacrifice because we do enjoy it.
We really do.
We do enjoy it.
We do. So please like and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts. We appreciate you, especially during this holiday season.
Yes, absolutely.
And we have some great stuff coming for you in the future.
Yes. Big stuff.
Big stuff.
All kinds of great stuff.
But right now we've got a lot going on.
There's a lot going
politic.
on. So one quick thing I just want to mention because I want to get it out there. So I don't know how many of our listeners are fans of Formula One racing.
Oh, that's right.
My guess is not a ton because I didn't really even know anything about it if you asked me 6 months ago.
Okay.
My wife got me into Drive to Survive.
Mm-hmm.
It's the documentary on Netflix, 7 seasons about the F1.
Did you go see the movie?
I went and saw the movie.
F1.
Love the movie.
Yeah, it's was it like Days of Thunder for Formula racing?
For Formula racing. Because I've been an IndyCar guy and a little bit of NASCAR, but I've not been a big racing guy.
Yeah.
I've been to the Indy 500, loved it. It was just amazing. And I now can say that I've been to an F1 race. We went to the Grand Prix in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
I saw a lot of video on Instagram, people going up and down escalators to be able to watch the race because apparently you can't stand on any of the overpasses. Or
and they blacked out a lot of places. Yeah, they're making their money. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they're making sure
they're smart about this. But it was great. It was blast.
But if you have a room overlooking the course, it's you're essentially.
But those rooms were going for a premium.
Yeah, I'm sure
they've got this figured out.
Okay.
They're going to make their money, and so be it. Whatever. Anyway, a lot of fun. I just wanted to say that I was there.
I mean, that's great. That's
no
awesome.
Point of the story other than me bragging.
I used when I was going to the University of Southern California, my uncle was a sports writer for the Long Beach Press Telegram. Did an opinion piece on sports. His name's Doug Krikorian, still alive, still cranking, legendary sports figure in Southern California. And he would always have these amazing passes to the Long Beach Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And I used to go down. He'd have pit passes. It was awesome.
Now, see.
And so I wasn't into Formula One racing at all. I mean, not even a little bit of NASCAR because of the Anheuser-Busch sort of
right.
tie with that. But they were tied in with Formula One for a long time too. And I would go down to that. It was just amazing to watch.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Especially from the pit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Those cars zipping by.
They go fast.
Yes, they
do go fast.
And those people, those drivers are athletes. Anybody who doesn't say that.
Well, not only that, they are
so fit.
They are so young.
Yeah,
some of these kids are teenagers.
Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing. And this is something that was shocking to me. I think we've said this before. These are the highest paid athletes in the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's one of the most dangerous sports in the world.
Well, sure,
obviously.
But
zipping around a course at 200 miles an hour.
The highest paid, I think Max Verstappen is the highest paid, and he's making $65 million a year. $65 million a year.
Oh my goodness!
In his late 20s.
Well, it's an international sport. That's and that it justifies that type of.
It has a fan base that swamps.
Yeah, and it has a fan base that we don't even understand in this country. It's not something that we can wrap our arms
But
around.
I think
because a lot of Formula One racing, other than the Indy 500, has kind of dropped off in some ways.
Yeah.
And kudos to the organizers in Vegas for kind of bringing it back.
Yeah, they really did.
I referenced the Long Beach, Grand Prix. That's gone.
Yeah, well, so there's only 3 in America, in the U.S. So Austin is the one. That's the United States Grand Prix.
Yeah,
that's the what used to be Long Beach, and then they've added Miami and Vegas.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So. Especially Miami with the international following.
Yeah. All right, so
where they won't be doing it anytime soon?
Where's that?
New York City.
So let's jump right into New York. So there was a meeting at the White House with Zoran Mamdani.
It's like your mom and Danny.
Yeah, and then the meeting. We don't know exactly how the meeting went. No. Behind the scenes, it seems to have gone well because in front of the cameras they were very chummy, Trump and Zoran.
Oh yes, very chummy.
And Trump even was like, he's like, "You've called Trump a fascist. Do you still believe?" And Trump's like, "It's okay. You can say yes."
Yeah, it was very performative, but by both for sure.
And I was a little bit dismayed because I thought, this guy is a actual socialist, and for Trump to be as chummy as he is, probably not a great message to send to those who are worried about socialism. But at the same time, Trump's kind of like, hey, this guy's got some juice. I'm gonna
yeah,
be
but
a part of it.
The mayor-elect, if you read anything in the New York Post, he's wasting no time installing some of those radical people in American politics to basically, it's not going to bode well for New York.
One of the guys that's like put in a position in the transition over like policing is a guy who is a professor who wrote the book on anti-police.
Yes.
I mean, it's just
so if you're living in New York City, it's time to get out.
Yeah.
Boy, you still can.
I think. But what's fascinating is that so Zoran goes on Meet the Press a couple days later, and he's asked about this. Do you still believe that Trump is a fascist? I believe everything. Let's watch.
Yeah, and you were impressed with him on this fair show.
I have an opinion.
Yes.
Let's watch the tape.
He's so chummy. What was going through your head when you were standing there?
I thought again and again about what it would mean for New Yorkers if we could establish a productive relationship that would focus on the issues that those New Yorkers stay up late at night thinking about. Because so often in our politics, we try and tell people what they should be worried about, what they should be concerned about. But when you actually ask New Yorkers and you listen to them, you hear it come back to the issues that animated not just the conversation the president and I had with the press after our meeting, but frankly in the meeting itself. It was a conversation where we spoke about the need to deliver on this agenda. And I appreciated that when the president, when we had that meeting, it wasn't just in the Oval Office. He also took me into the cabinet room. And there we were looking at portraits of presidents of years gone by. And we admired a portrait of FDR. And in many ways, when I think about the candidacy that we've put forward, it looks to Fiorello LaGuardia as the greatest mayor in New York City history. You can't tell the story of LaGuardia without telling the story of FDR and the story of a relationship with the federal government that finally delivered at the scale of the crisis it was facing.
Well, prior to your meeting, I don't have to tell you this, President Trump repeatedly threatened to cut off federal funding to New York if you won. The president seemed to back away from that yesterday, though, in his public comments in that joint news conference that you all did. He said, I don't think that's going to happen. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. Do you believe him when he says that?
No, I believed the president in the conversation that we had, and I will continue to make the case, both to the president and to the country at large, about the needs of New Yorkers. Because what I found, frankly, is that New Yorkers have grown tired of being asked to believe in a system that has delivered very little for them. They're tired of a politics that expects everything from them while delivering little. And what they want now is a politics that can see the scale of the crisis in front of it and actually start to work together to deliver on that.
All right, so let's stop there for a second. So my takeaway of this interview, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
This guy's good.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's good.
Yeah, because what he's doing is he's using rhetorical flourishes to mask exactly what he's going to do behind the scenes.
Well, and
which is smart.
I mean, what he's doing is he's leaning in on being a socialist by putting it in the context of this is what the people want.
Yeah.
We're just responding to what the people want. Yeah. They want affordability. And his solutions are not the right solutions.
No, they've proven time and time and time again throughout history to create poverty and remorse and the destitute.
Yeah, but Republicans underestimate this guy at our peril.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's underestimating him. I think Republicans need to see him for what he is and believe him for what he says underneath the rhetorical flourishes. He's well spoken, obviously educated, but he's never managed anything ever.
No.
And now he's the mayor-elect of New York City, and he's putting people in place, as I said before, who are beyond leftists. And New York City will reap the rewards of that, and they will reap it good and hard.
Yeah, well, I think that's true. The question will be, will Democrats view him as the model? Will they both campaign as he campaigned and lean in on the issues as he has, socialism? And what does that mean for 2028, and beyond? And I think that there's some.
Have you ever heard of ghost apartments?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there are 50,000 ghost apartments in New York City. And for those of our listeners who don't know what that means there's a developer that developed a piece of property with the prospect of leasing that property at a price that would cover the development of that property. But because of rent control, because of the regulations that the government of New York has already put in place, they've left those properties vacant.
Well, and it's not just full. It could be full buildings in some cases.
Yes.
But it's also just empty apartments in buildings, because if someone is in a rent-controlled property and dies, then that landlord can't rent that space for anything more than what the previous tenant had.
Exactly. That's the other piece of it.
So, someone's in that property for 10, 15, 20 years, it needs updating. It's not worth it for the developer to spend the money to update it because he can't make the money back. So they leave the freaking thing empty.
Yeah.
And there's a housing crisis in New York.
Yeah.
We wonder why?
Yeah. No developer under any sort of rent control guidelines is going to build any type of skyscraper when they can't recoup that investment.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. That's why there's an affordability issue in New York.
Right.
There's not enough apartments, condos, housing being built.
Yeah.
It's basic supply and demand.
But 50,000, I mean, that would solve a huge problem if they just took off rent controls.
Took off the rent control and allowed those apartments to be refitted, to your point, or built or rented fully.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. What's the next one? Do we have another one on Mamdani?
No.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's all we need. Look, well, this is actually a good segue because we're talking about, he is, some are saying he's the future of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
But that leads to another potential face of the future of the Democratic Party, and that is our own good Senator Mark Kelly.
Oh, my.
So, Mark Kelly. Now, do we have a clip of actually what he said? I actually don't know. I haven't seen the actual
full video
of what he said. So, I don't know if we have that.
Well,
let's do the
ABC
Let's
News.
do the ABC News one.
All right, here we go. Please like and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
This morning, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly defiant after the Pentagon announced it's investigating him for serious allegations of misconduct after he and 5 other Democratic lawmakers posted a video urging U.S. service members not to follow illegal orders.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Kelly, who flew 39 combat missions in Iraq before going on to become an astronaut, now threatened with a court-martial for saying this.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
The president furious at the lawmakers, labeling them traitors and accusing them of, quote, seditious behavior punishable by death. But the law is clear. Service members don't need to follow unlawful orders. Rachel Van Landingham, a lawyer and retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel.
So they say, you know, they're making this point, the video, they're making this point, oh, you don't have to follow unlawful orders. Now, what I'm not totally certain as to what's the impetus of this video. I mean,
I think it has.
Trump hasn't issued any illegal orders.
No, and I think it has a lot to do with their concern over the strikes against the Venezuelan boats.
This has to do with Venezuela.
Yeah,
okay.
and whether those are legal or not because they're occurring in international waters. And the problem that Senator Kelly has is that he is retired, and he is going to be in deep trouble for orchestrating this.
Well, it's not just that
video.
he's retired; it's that he's an officer.
Yeah,
because he's bound by the U.S. Code of Military Justice.
Exactly.
And that code, you know, Section 286 or something. I'm not remembering off the top of my head. You know, there's a lot of language about how you can't undermine, you know, your officers, the commander in chief, you know, that kind of thing. And clearly saying that you can ignore a unlawful command or an illegal command when there is no such illegal command pending.
Yeah, there's
seems illegal in and of itself.
That's been the major pushback. What illegal orders are you referring to?
Right.
And to which they're saying,
now
they're backtracking incredibly. But this goes into a larger issue with Mark Kelly.
Well, before we get to that,
okay,
because then we will get to the larger issue of Mark Kelly. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. I think it would have been a better solution if you're the administration to say these people are ridiculous. There are no illegal orders, and leave it at that.
Yeah.
But the fact that President Trump has attacked them, you know, saying it's punishable by death, that they're traitors, he's now amplified, and the investigation by that's been announced by Pete Hegseth has now elevated Mark Kelly way beyond where he deserves to be. He's now the poster child. He's now going to raise a shit ton of money. Donald Trump has threatened to, you know, kill me because he says I'm a traitor. He's going to raise boatloads of money. And he's now, I mean, keep in mind, we have our disagreements with him clearly, but he's not as hardcore leftist as a Gavin Newsom. So I view him as a more dangerous Democratic opponent going into 2028 than Gavin Newsom. And yet here we are propping him up because we're giving him a platform.
Everyone can agree that Trump's response to a lot of things lately have been completely unhinged and actually not helpful. And his response was not helpful. It doesn't take away from the fact that Mark Kelly orchestrated this video, and has really been an intellectually dishonest senator, in my opinion. And also let's just talk about it for really quick. Where is Mark Kelly? Why do we keep saying that, ladies and gentlemen? Well, because he doesn't live in the state. His wife is under care in Houston. That's where he spends most of his time. So he parachutes in whenever he wants to, says a bunch of stuff, but has provided absolutely no solutions to the issues that are surrounding the politics of the state.
Yeah.
And that is our issue with Mark Kelly. I think I can speak for both of us.
No.
He's just ineffective from the standpoint of looking after his constituents. And he's elevated himself on the national stage, and this is helping do that, and the administration's going to help do that. But he's been a completely ineffective senator for the state of Arizona.
I mean, this gives you a sense of, like, if you live in Arizona, you were probably just as shocked as I was when his name was floated on the short list for Kamala Harris for vice president.
Yeah.
I was like, Mark Kelly, why would they pick that guy? You know, because he's not a force.
No.
Now, clearly, he's I think this probably was calculated. I think he definitely has interest in running for president. And so he saw this as an opportunity to really boost his name ID because he knew that Trump couldn't help himself.
Yeah, that's probably correct.
And then the fact that Hegseth has now upped the ante with this investigation, now they've made him a martyr.
Yep.
And so he's gonna this elevates him way beyond where he should be.
What he should be.
Yeah. And then Ruben Gallego. I mean,
we need to play this?
No.
Okay.
Let's just say Ruben Gallego's
El
being Ruben
Jefe.
Gallego.
Yeah, Ruben Gallego responded with a drive time video where he told the president to go F himself.
Yeah.
Which is he was probably drinking and driving at the time, as he's off to do. That's my opinion, of course. That's not been proven.
This next clip, Ukraine agrees to the peace deal? They've
agreed to the 18-point framework? That was this morning?
Let's play that. I have not seen that.
Versus the 28-point framework?
A major step towards ending the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine as the deadline for Ukraine to accept that peace agreement gets closer. It's on Thursday. Taking a live look this morning for you over the White House, the U.S. and Ukraine have agreed to a new plan. This is a 19-point plan down from 28 points earlier this week, all drafted by the president. Here are some of the changes that we know of so far. Ukraine would not have to give up the Donbas territory. That was a pretty big sticking point all along. Ukraine also would not have to put a cap on its military, so that's another big one. And the option for Ukraine to join NATO would be on the table. Now, all of this is ongoing as Russia continues its attacks on Ukraine in the capital.
Hey, that's not going to happen. Russia will never.
Yeah, and I saw a headline as we were going to air that Russia has rejected the entire thing.
Yeah, right. Russia will never agree on the NATO thing.
The Donbass piece and the NATO piece, I think, are just non-starters. I don't know why we keep going back to that. They're non-starters.
Yeah.
Ukraine, you lost Crimea and you've lost the Donbass. Sorry.
Yep.
That's just the reality.
Well, and
security guarantees are one thing. Joining NATO is something completely different, and it is a red line that Putin from the beginning has said we will fight to the death. That's part of what instigated the invasion of Ukraine was the discussion about NATO.
Yeah. The other thing is that now I'm going to probably be accused for speaking out of school, but the Donbass region, and I don't know about Crimea, but the Donbass region is predominantly Russian speaking.
Yes, that is correct.
It would be. I mean,
never been there.
How about if we do this? How about if we do a poll, and we get a super large sample size of the citizens in the Donbass that say, "Do you want to be in Russia or do you want to be in Ukraine?" I would guess a lot of them would say Russia.
Yeah. And you're not going to get Crimea back because they've established a port there, freshwater port, and that is not going to go away. So you got to be realistic about where this is going to go and what's doable and what's not.
Yeah.
So of course Ukraine would agree to that.
It's a sticky wicket.
Yeah, and so the war is going to continue.
Yeah, and folks, I just don't see. I mean, is it possible to have a deal by Christmas? I mean, I suppose anything's possible, but not if we're going this direction because Russia won't.
Yeah, they'll never.
Putin won't do it. And the problem is that Putin is a monster who's willing to throw as many young Russian bodies into that meat grinder as it takes to.
Oh, it's not like the Russians are thriving at this time, and with the threat of more American sanctions, it'll crush Russia.
Yeah,
and I think Trump is just holding off. It's passed the Senate. Is that correct? The sanctions?
I think
it did.
So. I don't know.
I believe it did. So, now that we're at a waiting game, and this is going to be some attrition happening over the next month or so.
Yeah,
but. There's certain things that just the Russians are just not going to agree to. And guess what? They do have the upper hand in much of this.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
and that's just the way it is.
Because they have the bodies to throw at this.
They do, but the Russians can keep going. I mean, the Russians.
Yeah.
The Russians.
Well, and they're going to,
and they're going to,
if they need the support of China and Iran, they're going to get it.
They're going to get it. Yeah,
they may be well, they've already gotten it to some degree. I mean, even North Korea has sent troops in for Russia.
For
this
Putin,
is ridiculous.
these are red lines, and he's not going to back off of those. And I think both countries are. It's just an attrition at this point.
Yeah. Well, folks, we hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Spend some time with your family. Enjoy the prosperity of your lives. I know that we will.
Yeah. And remember that we are a country of faith, freedom, and free enterprise.
That's
the founding principles of our great country, even back to the pilgrims who landed on Plymouth Rock. What were they doing? They were fleeing religious persecution,
right?
And wanting to settle and exercise their belief in God in the way they wanted.
Exactly.
So that is the
and that is
founding
why we
principle of our country.
Why we celebrate Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
We are to thank our loving God for all of our blessings.
That's right. And thank you.
And we are blessed to have you, ladies and gentlemen.
you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. We'll
Safe
see
travels
you again.
All
God
right.
bless.
Take care.